Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into how you can become the architect of your own life. We'll be pulling together insights from some of the best minds out there to give you a clear masterclass, all in about 5 minutes.
So let me ask you something. Do you ever just feel like you're running on autopilot? You know, like you're more of a passenger in your own life than the person actually in the driver's seat? It's a feeling a lot of us have, even if we don't talk about it much.
Well, there's a real reason for that feeling. It's not just in your head. And here's the even better news. There's absolutely a way to take back the controls. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going on a journey from passenger to architect. And our guide is going to be some of the most insightful books ever written.
All right, first things first. We have to understand what we're up against. Turns out, a huge chunk of our lives is run by this hidden program. So the psychologist Daniel Kahneman really broke this down for us. He says we basically have two brains. You've got System 1, which is your autopilot. It's fast, it's intuitive, it's emotional, and it handles something like 95% of our daily decisions. Then you've got System 2, the pilot. That's the slow, deliberate, analytical part we think of as us. The reason life feels so reactive is that System 1 is almost always running the show, making snap judgments based on everything we've ever experienced, leaving our conscious mind playing catch-up. And this autopilot, it runs on something called the habit loop, a term from Charles Duhigg. It's a super simple but incredibly powerful cycle. There's a cue, that's the trigger. Then comes the routine, the behavior itself, and finally the reward, which tells your brain, hey, remember this pattern, it's a good one. Our brain loves efficiency, so it locks this loop in, and boom, you've got a habit that runs without you even thinking about it. And you can see the signs of this autopilot everywhere, if you know what to look for. Researcher Amy Morin points out things like dwelling on the past instead of being in the present, or using victim language, I have to do this, or my boss makes me feel. It can even be stuff like complaining things aren't fair, or secretly feeling a little happy when someone successful stumbles. It's sneaky, right? It changes how we think and act without us even realizing it.
Okay, so that's the problem. How do we fix it? How do we start this construction project on ourselves? Well, like any good architect, before you can build anything, you need a blueprint. And for us, that blueprint is self-awareness.
The very first step is mindfulness. And I love this quote, inspired by Andy Puttikambo. The mind is like a blue sky. Thoughts and feelings are like clouds that pass by. You are not the clouds, you are the sky. It's such a powerful idea. When you learn to just observe your thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them, you create this space, a tiny gap between the impulse and your action. And in that space, that's where your power to choose lives.
This practice of just observing yourself, that's the bedrock of what we call emotional intelligence, or EQ. And you should care about EQ a lot. Why? Because research shows it's a way better predictor of success than your IQ. I mean, get this. People with average IQs actually outperform people with high IQs 70% of the time. The difference maker is EQ.
So building your blueprint, your EQ, comes down to mastering these 4 areas. First, self-awareness, just knowing what's going on inside you. Second, self-management, being able to control those impulses. Third, social awareness, understanding what's going on with other people. And fourth, relationship management, putting it all together to build good connections. But look, it all starts with that first one. You can't do any of the others without honestly looking at your own internal world first.
Okay, let's get practical. You've got your blueprint of self-awareness. It's time to lay the foundation stone. But here's the trick, and it's a game changer. Don't try to change everything at once. That's a recipe for disaster. Instead, we're going to focus on laying just one single, powerful foundation stone. This comes straight from James Clear's incredible book, Atomic Habits. The goal isn't some huge dramatic change overnight. No way. The goal is to get just 1% better every single day. That's it. A tiny, almost invisible improvement. But what happens when you do that? This is where the magic happens. It's the power of compounding. That tiny 1% improvement doesn't just add up, it multiplies. Over 1 year, getting 1% better each day doesn't make you 365% better. It makes you almost 38 times better. Think about that. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement.
And all this power can start with something called a keystone habit. It's a small change that ripples out and causes other shifts. Admiral William McRaven famously said, "If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed." Why? Because it gives you a small win, a tiny sense of pride, and that encourages you to do another task and then another one. It creates momentum.
And this is maybe the most important point of all. The focus isn't on the outcome, like, I want to lose weight. It's on your identity. You start saying, I am a healthy person. See the difference? Every action you take, every workout, every healthy meal becomes a vote for the person you want to become. You're not just doing things, you're casting votes for your new identity. Now, to really make this foundation rock solid, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. David Goggins has a great phrase for this: callousing your mind. He says, do something that sucks every day. It's about intentionally pushing past your comfort zone on a regular basis to build mental toughness and turn your weaknesses into strengths.
Okay, so with that foundation stone laid, now we can install a whole new mental operating system. Think of it like upgrading your phone's software. We're moving from that old, reactive system to a new, proactive one.
And a great model for this new OS comes from Stephen Covey. He talks about two circles. Proactive, mentally strong people focus all their energy on their circle of influence. That's the small circle of things you can actually control. Your choices, your attitude, your effort. Everything else, the weather, traffic, what other people do, the outcome of your efforts, that's in the bigger circle of concern. And here's the key: you waste a ton of energy worrying about that stuff. The big shift is to accept you can't control it and pour all that reclaimed energy back into your circle of influence.
And the guiding principle for this new OS? It's your why. Simon Sinek's Golden Circle model shows us this perfectly. Most of us operate from the outside in. We know what we do, we might know how we do it, but we rarely know why. Truly inspiring people and organizations do the exact opposite. They start with why. That purpose, that belief, that becomes the filter for everything else.
All right, let's bring this all together. With this new OS installed, you're finally ready to design your future with real intention and strategy. You're not just reacting anymore. You're the architect.
And being an architect means you have to look at failure differently. It's not the end, it's just data. I mean, take Milton Hershey. His first candy business failed. His second one failed. His family basically wrote him off, but he kept learning, kept tweaking, starting over with just a push cart. He used those failures to find his winning formula, and, well, you know the rest. He built an empire.
So you start asking different questions. You start measuring your life differently. Instead of just focusing on the salary or the job title, you start asking the questions that Clayton Christensen posed. Is this meaningful? Am I getting a chance to develop and grow? Am I being given real responsibility? Because those are the things that actually lead to a fulfilling life, not just a successful one.
So there you have it. You've seen the path from being on autopilot to becoming the architect. You've got the blueprint, you've got the tools. The only question left is the one you have to answer for yourself.